Hey everyone, Sarah here again today to share a layout using the Take Me Home kit from Mercy Tiara Kit Club. This layout, I pretty much stuck to the Simple Stories What's Cooking papers and embellishments. I do pull in some other things as well, but the majority of this one is made with the Simple Stories What's Cooking papers. I use a lot of this close-knit paper. As you see, I'm sitting here cutting it down into little strips. Don't know why, but lately I've enjoyed doing paper strips and roughing them up and layering them, which you'll see me do with this. I sit here and mess with it, trying to figure out if I'm going to do it completely straight or if I'm going to do it jagged, how much I'm going to overlay it. I think I really was just overthinking it too much, and you'll see that eventually I just go ahead and line it up and make it straight and start adhering everything down. So I'm going to say this is one of my first voiceovers other than a unboxing video I did recently. So you'll probably be prepared for some awkward silences. And me just generally being weird. That's just kind of who I am. And you'll get to know that over time. So, hi, nice to meet you. But as you see here, I'm going ahead and adhering everything down just to start the base of my layout. I really, really, really like these colors. I think this whole collection is just gorgeous. And there I go with my fingernail, just going ahead and roughing everything up. I have an edge distressor. I really do. I've got my Tim Holtz one here, but I still tend to use my fingernail a lot more. And I like the way that I can just tilt it a little bit and it'll distress the edges a little more, rip it a little more. And I like the way it looks. And I don't have to go dig and look for anything. So, it's just kind of what I use. Here you'll see me going through all the embellishments for the same collection. And I'm just pulling out things that will match with the colors that I already have down there on the layout. Right here, I'm even cutting the plate and spoon and fork, separating them so that I can use them in different portions of the layout. But I don't want to throw anything away and they can be used, so why not? I thought this was just a great collection to scrapbook this picture. And I've got so many photos of my kids and me cooking and baking. They all really like to get in the kitchen and do that kind of stuff. So I have tons of pictures to do with that, but I do want to create other things with this kit as well. I already have a ton of things in mind. Here you see me roughing up the edges of all the different things that I had pulled out and stacking them and layering them, just kind of tucking everything here and there, trying to figure out where I want everything to go and what all I'm actually going to use. And there I went ahead and pulled out one of the Pink Fresh Studio frames that matched the pink section. Let's see here. I just keep pretty much scruffing everything up, sliding things here and there, just trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And at this point, I still don't have a title. I'm still not 100% sure what I'm going to do with everything, but I like the way it's looking. I pull out the rub-ons for this collection as well and rub a couple on and cut it out and add it into the blue section. Every once in a while I'm doing this, I figured out after I was done with this layout, I realized there were so many more things on the rub-on paper, the rub-on sheets that I could have used. But it still I like the way it turned out. So, I'm still happy with it. And it's probably for the best because sometimes I have the habit of going with more. And not editing enough to where I know not to use everything on one layout. If you can't tell, since I used a ton of stuff on this. But here I am tucking things in, gluing them down, making sure they all fit and can go into where they need to be. I add some 3D foam behind bits and pieces so parts of them are sticking up. So there's just some more dimension. I like texture. I like dimension, and I love to layer things. That's probably one of my favorite things. As long as I have embellishments or things I can fussy cut or anything like that, I'm going to be layering things. It's one of my favorite things to do, I think, on a layout. So as you see here, I'm still doing that, adding little pieces of foam and stuff. And now I'm trying to figure out multiple things at once. One, I want to get some layers behind that photo because I don't want it just sitting there on its own. And I do end up using this wood grain paper and some of the craft polka dot cardstock that came in the cardstock add-on. And then I use the other side of the wood grain paper as well for a part of a layer here. And pop it up on some 3D foam. You'll see me continue to pick up that brown doily. I love it. I want to use it. I don't end up using it. I will on something, just not on this layout apparently. So as you see, I went ahead and made the choice and picked out the layers, and I'm going to go ahead and add those, scuff up the edges, and then start pulling things to try to figure out if I want something else behind this photo or if I want to add anything else to the right-hand side of the layout. Yeah, so I'm going to sit here and pull some more things out, mess with the titles again, try to figure out what I want to use. I kept trying to use the cute little flowers there in the with the titles and foam stickers, but I always end up pulling them back. I do like this what's cooking. I knew what I was gonna, write with my journaling. And you don't see me do that on camera either. I do it off camera and add it. You'll see it in the final pictures. But I add cookies with an exclamation point from my typewriter and add my journaling underneath. But these rub-ons, I just have to say, I love these rub-ons. They work so well. I was so used to in the past, and I'm sorry if anybody, takes offense to this, but rub-ons in the past used to be kind of crappy. They didn't work as well. They'd come off on the sheets that they were stored in. And these ones work so well. I love the way they come off, the way they transfer. They turned out perfect on here, and those flowers are just gorgeous. Here you see me going through the American Crafts farmhouse. That other set of embellishments there, the farmhouse ones, finding little pieces. As you see, I ripped cut a tag up and ripped another one to layer behind, making sure they kind of stayed in the colors that they were sitting on. And I grabbed a piece of that fancy pants piece and cut it and added it under. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I thought there was too much white. So I decided to go ahead and cut a portion of the bottom off and add some of this pretty flower paper from What's Cooking. It's called Lick the Spoon. And add it to the bottom and rough up the edge and have it curled up so that there was just some more color, not so as much white. You'll also see in the final pictures that I went ahead and added a black line around the edge of my layout as well. And that pretty much finishes this layout. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you come back to see more. Make sure to check out Mercy Tiara Kit Club and the beautiful kits there are. Have a great day. Bye.